All right, guys in the green room, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Aha! Fine. It only took me 3 minutes to figure out the technical difficulties here. So, all right, awesome. I'll start over. This is Jay Bosshog Deutscher, Commissioner of the SPFL. The Southern Plains Football League is happy to put on our 2023 Pigskin Classic at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, home of the Minnesota Vikings. So over the next hour, we are going to announce the team matchups and game times and game day, because it is a 2-day event, for all of the teams participating. And so, yeah, I mean, we're excited here. We've got some guys starting to fill up in the green room, and we will bring them on as I announce game times and matchups. So let's get started right away. In fact, the first guy that jumped in the room, we'll bring him in, is Mr. Michael Jarek from the Fox River Raiders. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm great. This is first time we've ever done it like this. We usually just send you a message and say, here's when your game time is, and here's where you play. But we got I even went out and I got graphics. I saw graphics off everybody's Facebook pages. So, showing a little love to you that way. So
appreciate it.
Hopefully that's not like a logo from like 2000 when your team,
No.
first started or something like that.
But no, that's brand new. That was I put that up last year.
All right, awesome. Well, Mike, I am also going to bring in. Let's see if they are in here, and they are. All the way from. I got to find their logo, and let's see if we can do 3 at a time here. Yep, looks like, and. The other is out of St. Joseph, Missouri, the St. Joseph Swarm, Mr. Saucedo. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. I don't even remember your first name because everything is like Jessica. So everything I have is always Jessica.
It's Jay.
Jay, that's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to assume. So Jay meet Mike, Mike meet Jay, and you two guys and your team are going to lead off the SPFL 2023 Pigskin Classic, their first time back in 4 years. So a little bit, why don't we go ahead and, Mike, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about the Raiders.
We started the Raiders back in 2015. When we started it, it was me and 2 other friends. We really didn't expect it to be 8 years old. We kind of just did it just so we could play football one more time, and then it kind of just evolved, and we stopped after our 2019 season. Actually, our last game was the Pigskin game in 2019, and then we were done for 2 years due to COVID. And then we brought it back, and we've been back for 2 years, and we've been going strong. And we play out of Winnie County, Wisconsin. So,
okay, awesome. And your league is the
Northern Lights Football League.
Northern Light Football League, yep. And I believe, if I remember looking up, your guys' season is done at the moment as far as your team.
Yep. Our last game was the 17th, and then I believe they have the conference championships the divisional championships this weekend, and then there's only like 2 more weeks left.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to tell us about the Raiders?
No, just we're really excited to be welcome back, and we're appreciative of the opportunity.
Awesome. All right. Jay, we're going to kick it over to you. Tell us about the St. Joseph Swarm, which is a lot easier to pronounce than what your guys' name was before, because I screwed that up 1,000 times before.
Yeah, we started our team in 2017 was our first year playing in Chillicothe, Missouri, which is a town of 10,000 people. So we were a small town team. We played in the MFA, for a long time, and tough teams over there with our small country town team, but it's still a lot of fun, a lot of good people over there. And we were there for about 5 years, but we continuously started gaining players from the St. Joseph area to the point where our last year, before our last season, we talked about moving the team over to St. Joseph. town of 75,000, more talent, more talent in nearby cities. Kansas City's 45 minutes away, that sort of thing. So a bigger opportunity to build our team after spending 5 years out in the country. And so we did that, and we've spent the last couple of years in the Heartland Football Association against mostly the same teams that we or similar teams, I should say, as we did in the MFA days.
Yeah, and then there was that brief time there where I think the NFL had kind of dropped down that far south. I think they had the Kansas City Bulldogs in that NEFL, but now the NEFL is no longer exist, and I think that's kind of where the HFA, the Heartland Football Association, kind of spawned from, with some of those old NEFL teams.
Yeah, it was a bunch of MFA teams, Midland Football Association teams, and then of course, I'm not sure if the Warriors were out of the NEFL.
I don't know. I won't.
I'm not sure
because I'm not 100% sure either myself. Yeah,
but I know we did have northern teams kind of maybe not go back and forth, but I know we had some northern teams that had closer relation to those teams up there.
Sure. Well, it's an 8:00 game, first game out of the gate, and I'm hoping you guys just bring and set the tempo for the whole day with that game. I know that's an early game for both of you, and it's always tough to try and figure out who's going to play what games. But Jay, with me knowing you guys, because you guys have been in this a couple times now, and Mike, I think this will be your guys' second year as part of our event. I just think it's going to be an awesome time to have you guys kick it off with your teams. You get a little extra warm-up time just because there's no game before you. And one of the big questions that gets asked is what's the timing rules going to be? Is it going to be a run clock? And I can tell you that this year it will not be a run clock. In the years past, we did that 22-minute quarter run time, and we are not going to do that. We shaved a game off so that way we could spread out the games just a little bit more. So we got 2.5 hours allotted for each game. There'll be 12-minute quarters, and for the most part, I think we're going to go with just regular like high school timing rules, which is stops on a first down, it stops and you go out of bounds, that kind of a deal. But we'll finalize that. But I just wanted to get that out there that we are not doing the runtime thing, because I've had a lot of teams like, well, we're interested, but we don't want to play if it's a runtime. And it's like, yeah, but it's not a 12-minute runtime. It was a 22-minute runtime, right. And it was still really like a full regular quarter. It just was the clock was running the whole time. So, any last things between you guys? Any last comments?
Just excited to come back and play again.
Yep. I think the good thing is having been before is a lot of times as a first-time team, you're not sure how things flow and all that sort of stuff. So every time you come back, it's exciting because you know how to kind of maximize your experience there. So definitely looking forward to that. Yeah,
you kind of know what to pack and what not to pack now, so that it's like, okay, last time when we packed all our stuff, it was a pain in the ass to carry it all the way down the stairs and all the way back up. Now it's like, okay, we don't need to bring that crap, and we can just, like I tell all of the new teams, especially the new teams this year, is, and you guys can speak to it. You don't need to bring, like your trainer bag necessarily. You don't need to bring all your water bottles and your water bottle carriers, because we've got all that stuff there for you. I mean, we got the trainers, we got the water bottles, all that kind of stuff. So, it's like I just tell teams, just bring your footballs and show up ready to play football, and we'll get it going. So, again, thank you both. It's great to get a chance to talk to you again, and I got to start getting used to seeing everybody's faces again, because I suck at remembering faces very well, but you two you're good looking guys. I'll probably remember that. So, Anyways, thank you, gentlemen, and we're going to move on to the next game. And thanks for hopping on.
All right, thanks. We'll reach out to you, Mike, and get some info back and forth.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, our next game for the Pigskin Classic, and I probably should have said to Mike and Jay, that was Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Just making sure you knew that you're kicking it off on Saturday. So, all right, let's see here. We are going to go next to the Central Iowa Chiefs. Let's see if they're in the room. I do not see them in the room. And that might be they just weren't able to make it on. But we got the Topeka Flight. So this is going to be our 8 a.m. game on Sunday morning. The Central Iowa Chiefs, they are out of the Southern Plains Football League. They're a 9-man team out of our league. And they finished the season, I want to say 2-6 or 3-5, I believe, somewhere in there. As a commissioner, you think I would know that off the top of my head, but I don't remember it. And so they are excited to be part of the event again. I think this is their, I think this will be their second year, maybe their third year that they've been in it. But let's see here. Maybe they were trying to get in and they couldn't get in because the room was kind of full. And their opponent for the Central Iowa Chiefs is going to be the Topeka Flight. Sean, are you there?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Tell us about the Topeka Flight.
We're a first-year team in Topeka. We played last year in the Casey Land Football League in Lawrence, and we came back to Topeka. We got a lot of local kids from Topeka playing for us, so this makes our second year officially as a team. We're playing as a independent fall team this year, so we're excited about coming to Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a drive for you coming up, but the nice thing is you got I-29, or you can jump over to I-35 and come up that direction, and you can stop in Des Moines and maybe that time of the year it'll be too late for you to see the butter cow at the Iowa State Fair, but you can pick up in Iowa. I recommend highly at a gas station near you, Sturzing's potato chips. They are the best potato chips in the country. A friend of mine who's in the green room is definitely a lover of the Sturzings as well. I can see him smiling. So, so you guys are going to be playing 8 a.m. Sunday morning, Sean. It'll be you guys, the Central Iowa Chiefs. It'll be a 9-man game. And again, we're looking forward to having you guys come up and be part of the event. And anything else you got for us?
No, we're just looking forward to coming up and getting the experience to play 9-man football against a really good football team. So I think it'll be a fun time for both teams. And I know some of my guys are going to experience Buc-ee's on the way up. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of Buc-ee's up through that area. Yeah, I've only been to one myself, and I honestly didn't have time to it's kind of like Wall Drug in South Dakota. I just didn't have time to go through everything. It's its own destination point, I guess, along the way. So, all right. Well, Sean, thanks for joining us, and we will we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. And I have to kick you guys out of the green room as we go so that we got room for new people as they're hopping on here. Private chat. Can't hear Jay. All right. I understand that. Where do I activate the mic, or is Jay in control? And all right. So those are all old comments. We got a lot of comments on Facebook, though. Holy cow. Love it. I'm just trying to see if there's anything good here. Well, I see Justin Miller and David Betancourt are kind of controlling the Facebook stream, so that's good. All right, next up, we are going to jump back to Saturday morning. And Saturday morning at 10:30 will be our second game of the event. Is going to be a 9-man game. And from Watertown, South Dakota, it's going to be the Watertown Rebels out of the SPFL and Mr. Chris Renmo. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Jay.
And Chris, your competition that day is going to be a brand new team to the event. They do currently play 11-man, but they have also played 9-man. That's where they got their start. And that is going to be with Mr. Fred Jackson and the Madison Mad Dogs. Hey, Fred. Oh, can't hear you, Fred.
How's it going tonight?
Good. Thanks for joining us. And tell us, Chris, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about the Rebels.
So we were formed in 2015. We joined the SPFL in 2016. We went 6-2 in the regular season, 1-1 in the playoffs. I think if I remember right, this will be our fourth or fifth Pigskin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying. So
I think we did 16, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, I think we had 2 Pigskins before you guys joined the league. The first year was just the one between the Hogs and the Silverbacks. The second year was all the SPFL teams, but I don't think you guys were in yet that year.
No.
And then, and so I think the first one that you played in was the one at US Bank, correct?
Correct.
You never played at the Metrodome.
No.
Okay. Yep. So what year was that for you guys?
2016.
16. So I've been trying to figure this out, but I've been too lazy to go back and look it up. So 16, 17, 18, 19, that would have been 4. So this is our 7th annual Pigskin Classic. So that's, awesome that we've got a veteran team. Fred, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Bulldogs. I'm sorry.
Don't do that, Jay.
Well, he is kind of a bulldog looking animal.
So the Mad Dogs have been around for roughly about 11 years as a whole. And then you minus the COVID years. But we did start out 9-man, had pretty good seasons there. Then we moved into 11-man, where we've remained for the last 7 years. We're doing pretty good. We did build up. 2015, we won our first championship. We shut down during COVID, like I said. And then for the last 2.5 years, we've been building back up again. We've had our last 2 seasons have been very successful. Last year, unfortunately, we went out in the first round of the playoffs. We're currently still in the playoffs for this year. And we are also part of the Northern Lights Football League, like the Raiders were that you previously had on.
Yeah, we're gonna hear from a lot of your fellow league teams. We've got a fair number of NLFL teams in the event. Real quick before I let you guys go, Fred, where was the 9-man league that you played in before? Was that a Wisconsin-based league?
Yeah.
Or?
Yes. Yep. We were based in Wisconsin. A couple of programs from racing, like the Racing Threat was part of that. And then a couple others, but more towards Illinois, the Chicago Chaos, those groups. So it's always been fun and competitive programs.
Yeah, so obviously, then some of those have morphed into 11-man teams like yourself.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that just based on locale, some of them have gone into the 8-man realm as well, because I know that 8-man is kind of that southeastern Wisconsin, Illinois, northeastern, northeastern Iowa.
It's definitely growing. Growing.
Awesome. Well, guys, again, you guys are playing at 10:30 on Saturday morning the Rebels, Watertown Rebels versus the Madison Mad Dogs. And we're looking forward to that game. So, guys, thanks for joining us. And now at least you guys can chat with each other, learn a little bit more,
All right. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right. Next up is going to be our second game, our 10:30 game on Sunday. And our 10:30 game on Sunday is going to be between, let's see if we're both in here. Yep, they're both in here. We got the Midwestern Wildcats. Where is your logo? There it is. There we go. We got Cody Swinis from the Midwestern Wildcats. And they're going to be squaring off against a former nemesis when they were in our SPFL league, the Albert Lee Grizzlies, and Stephen Piper is joining us. So, gentlemen, good evening.
Okay.
Yeah, good
How
evening.
you doing?
Good to be here, Jay.
It is good to have you guys, and yeah, I mean, you two, each other's teams in name. Obviously, it's been now, I don't know what, 4 or 5 years, Cody, since you guys had exited our league, and so we've got a lot of people there that are new to your team that we don't know about, and Steven's turned over most of his. Although Steven has still managed to keep his very masculine and very chiseled body since we've seen him last. So
Absolutely.
yes, we
Got a little bit more white in the beard, though.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
That's spray paint. That's spray paint. He when he's painting the lines on the field, Cody, he runs his beard down the line to smooth it out.
Make sure it's symmetrical, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep.
Cody, tell us a little bit about the Wildcats.
Well, we've been established since 2014. I personally took the team over in 2016, and since then haven't really looked back. We had, like you said, we had a year in the SPFL. I think that was just travel kind of killed us more than anything else, rather than staying there. But other than that, we've been in the NLFL for the last 3 years. Not this year, but last year we made the playoffs, so that was a good jump for us. Kind of went back downhill this year, but trying to regroup, and I think this will be a fun game. Hopefully a way to bring some people to help us regroup for next season as well.
Awesome. Steven, what I mean, you can share a lot of stuff about the Grizzlies, but why don't you give us all the good stuff?
Man. Well, we started in 2010. We just finished up our 13th season. We have been everywhere in the league, from the basement to vying for the championship. So we've been around. I know that we have played the Wildcats before, and always competitive games. Good sportsmen on that side of the field, and we're looking forward to playing them again. The part that's going to be different is, I'm assuming that Cody's turned over a lot of players, and I don't know if we're going to have 1 or 2 guys. It'll be a good game. We're looking forward to it. It's one of those things, playing somebody that's familiar is good, but it's been so many years that it's not really familiar other than name and Cody's face.
Well, let's see. If I remember right, Cody played just about every position other than lineman during the course of that season that the Wildcats were in our league. And so hopefully by now, Cody, you've been able to narrow down one position to play. And your wife doesn't have to worry about you getting killed quite as much.
Yeah, I would say that I wish I've never played line, but our playoff game, our center got knocked out, and I played center in our playoff game last year, so I can definitely tell you I've hit every spot now.
Well, I can tell you Steven right now is hoping that you'll play center again at the Pigskin. He would like that very much.
No, we still got a couple guys he'll remember.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Looking forward to it. It's always nice to get back into the U.S. Bank. It's a special. I'm old school. I like the Metrodome, playing there, but this is a special place, and really looking forward to being down there on the field again and just playing in a wonderful event.
Yeah, it's just awesome that we're getting the opportunity to go back there, and we thank the fine folks at US Bank Stadium for giving us that opportunity, and we look forward to it. And the fun thing, Stephen, I know you have got some youth teams out of Albert Lee that are going to be coming. We're looking forward to having those youth teams involved again with us too. They'll play at halftime of the games, and so it should just be a fun event all the way around. 2 full days, and the tickets are good for both days. You can spend 16 hours with the rest of us that have to be there, and take in 6 football games. And we're going to have some absolutely slobber knocker of football games, I think, in this lineup. So, gentlemen, thanks for joining us. And I'm running behind schedule, so I need to move on. But thanks for being on with us, and see you guys again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us again, Jay.
Yep. Thanks, Jay. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
See you, Cody.
All right. Let me dial up our next ones here. Let's go. We are going to go to we're going to go to our 1:00 game on Saturday. So that'll be the third game of the day, 1:00 on Saturday. And hold on, maybe we're not, because I'm not seeing them all in the room. May not have been able to get into the room. So we're going to skip that one. We're going to go to D. Hester. I'm going to put you live on here for just a second because I don't know what team you're with. What team are you with? You're muted. We're still not hearing you, D.
Oh, there you go. Eau Claire Cowboys.
Eau Claire Cowboys. Well, you know what, D? That's just perfect timing. We will just start with you because you're the 1:00 game on Saturday.
Uh-oh.
And the Eau Claire Cowboys are going to be facing off against a new. I want to make sure I say, yep, this is a new team to our event. Eau Claire, I think you've been in it once or twice, but you guys are going to be facing off against a championship team out of their league, and that will be the St. Joe Bucks. So let's see who's on for the Bucks.
How's it going, guys?
All right, we got Mr. Hirschberger.
Yep.
Correct.
Correct.
All right. I should have known that a little bit quicker, but we got a lot of names and things I'm trying to keep going on behind the scenes here. So, first, D, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about the Eau Claire Cowboys.
Eau Claire Cowboys, we started operations back in, I'll say, 2017, 2016, 2017. Went to the championship, won in 2018. Went back to the championship, lost against the Minneapolis Warriors in 2019. Had to cease operations because of the COVID year. Stopped operations for a couple of years. Now we're back with an overall record, I'll say, 35-10-1, something like that. This year we're 8-3, heading into the playoffs. Got a game this Saturday against the River City Rough Riders, divisional championship game.
You got a tough matchup this weekend. That I wish I had the time and stuff to make the travel up to that one, because that's going to be a doozy. Or is it going to be in La Crosse or Eau Claire?
It's going to be it's going to be in Galesville at GET High School.
Where's that at?
Where the Wildcats play. Where
what Midwestern Wildcats play?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that just kind of like a halfway in between spot, or what?
I guess that's what they set up. I'm not understanding. I don't understand what the Rough Riders got going on. I don't want to speak on their situation, but I guess that's where they're playing at for the season.
Awesome. All right. Well, Mr. Hirschberger, tell us a little bit about the Bucks.
So the Bucks are based out of St. Joseph, Missouri. We're a 2-year team. It's our second year. We're in the MRFL, which is the Midwest Regional Football League. We've had 2 undefeated seasons. This year we won the championship against the NKC Knights. We're a real young team who's really big in our community. So, we're a 2-year team, so we're very excited to come to Minnesota. This is our first big travel, so pretty excited.
Awesome. Well, we'll hopefully treat you in Minnesota nice, and you'll have that opportunity to go to the Mall of America, or I should say maybe your wives and girlfriends should have the opportunity to go to the Mall of America, and yeah, it should be a good game. I think you two teams will be a good matchup, and D, I wish you guys all the luck here in the playoffs.
Thank you, sir.
And for the Bucks, congrats on your championship this year. Good luck. I think you're playing in a fall league too, aren't you?
We haven't announced it yet, but that's the plan.
Oh, damn! Sorry,
perfect time to do it.
I didn't mean to let the cat out of the bag.
Come on, Jay.
Oh,
it's all good.
I didn't see that in my cliff notes anywhere. Dang it!
You're all good.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you both. And you guys again are playing the Sunday game at 1:00. The St. Joe Bucks versus the Eau Claire Cowboys.
Sounds great.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you,
Nice to
Jay.
meet you, Coach.
Thanks again.
No problem.
All right. Then we got our 2 teams next that are playing the 1:00 game on Saturday. And we got a veteran SPFL team, the Sioux Empire Crusaders, that are represented here by owner Alex Scott. And Alex, where's your logo at? I downloaded it. There we go. Right there. There it is. And your opponent's going to be a new team, and they are out of the MA8FL, the Plow City Horsemen, with Adam Davis. So, Adam, how are you, sir?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm not Adam, but my name is
Adam.
Cash. But nice to meet you.
Well, who are you?
My name is Cash. I'm actually a player. Adam couldn't make it tonight, so.
All right. I'm trying to find your logo. What did I do with that? I downloaded all these at the last second. You'd think I would have remembered where I put them. What is the
How are you tonight, Cash?
I'm great. How are you?
Not so bad.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
There's the helmet. Does that look familiar, Cash? Is that the right helmet?
Hey, there it is.
There we go. All right. So, Alex, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about the Crusaders.
Crusaders, we've been in the SPFL since 2018. We've been a top 4 team, top 2 team since our induction. We had a hiccup in 2022, but that was the only year we weren't in the championship. Yeah, 5 years. Looking forward to testing ourselves against some of these other big name teams out there.
Alex, you're very subdued. You're normally a little bit more talkative than this, and you're just you're playing it safe there, but that's okay. So, and I had the Plow City logo up the whole time, but my apologies. So there's the crew logo again. All right, Plow City, Cash, or shall we say spare change? That's what we're going to name you.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Plow City Horsemen.
So we were a first-year team last season. We finished 4-4 in our league, 5-5 counting our playoff wins, and then lost in the second round of the playoffs to the champions of the league, the Peoria Punishers, who are also playing in the classic here. Other than that, we're looking to try to grow as a team, use this for exposure, and that, like the guy said before, this is our first big travel as well. So it'll be interesting to see how we travel.
Yeah, the travel thing when a team has to make that first big one, I think probably the biggest butterflies is just making sure that you didn't leave something at home that you needed. It's like
Yeah.
do we have everything? And then next thing you know, you get to the event and you left all of the teas in Bobby's garage or something like that because he's the kicker.
Right.
Come on, Bobby, you should have remembered your own teas. But don't worry, we learned one of the first years we did this. We learned as a league to go out and buy teas, so that way, if the team forgets them, you can just use our teas for the event. So
well, there you go. We'll make sure and remember that for sure.
Yep. And if you forget your football, then we're just buying a Nerf football, and that's what you're going to have to play with when you're on offense. That's
all right. Well, we'll remember that.
Good luck chucking that Nerf ball 60 yards down the field.
No kidding.
All right. Well, gentlemen, again, I want to thank you both for joining. And you guys, again, are playing the 1 o'clock game, Sioux Empire Crusaders, 1 o'clock on Saturday against the Plow City Horsemen. And Cash, real quick, where are you guys out of again?
We're out of Canton, Illinois.
Canton, Illinois. Not to be confused with Canton, Ohio, which
is on the TV right now.
Is on the TV right now, exactly. What's the score of the game? Somebody should have been giving me updates here.
Before I came outside, it was 17 or either 17 or 13-0. I can't remember, but I know.
13-0? Jets or?
Yes, Jets. Yeah.
So Rogers probably isn't even playing, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, no, he ain't even dressed. I don't think.
Why should he do that? That's nothing like trying to establish team chemistry.
Jets are playing all their fourth string. They're playing Cleveland. It's whatever.
Right.
That will be a 9-man matchup, correct?
That will be a 9-man matchup, correct? Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, gentlemen, thank you, and we look forward to talking to you both again soon.
Looking forward to meeting you, Cash.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
See you later, Spirit Change.
See ya.
All right. And let's see. Next up, we got the we switched over to starting with Sunday first. So we'll go to Sunday again. So Sunday, 3:30 on Sunday is going to be from the SPFL, the Med City Freeze, joined here by Jordan Pogels, and their opponent is going to be a new team to our event, but familiar to the area kind of for our league, the Tri-State Tridents. And why is it always so hard for me to find logos when I need them? There we go. We got the Tridents logo. So TJ Kettleson on for the Tridents. And Jordan, you look like Stephen Piper's young son. You get some more white in there, and then you really would actually pass as his son. But tell us about the Freeze, Jordan.
We've been a team for now, I want to say 7 years in the SPFL. Two of the owners were former Hog players, and then we have a couple other players that play for the Hogs as well. Been probably one of the top teams in the league since we've been around. Just quite haven't made it over that semifinal game. Can never make it to the big dance.
Yeah, it's what do they call it in golf? The yips, isn't it? Isn't that what they call it in golf when you
baseball? Yep, yips.
Yep. So you guys, for whatever reason, you guys have the yips in that semifinal game, and I've said it before. I said it this year. You guys on paper are without a doubt one of the most talented teams in our league, and probably really in the upper Midwest. It's just getting all of that to connect at the right time and at the right place during a game that always makes it a little interesting. TJ, tell us about the Tridents.
This will be our 4th year as a team next year. 2 years in 11-man playing in the now defunct UCFL and then the HFA. Made the move to 8-man this year in the CPFL. Went to the league championship and lost to the defending champions, but had a really good season and really excited to be a part of the event.
Well, your semifinal game was I mean, almost like the Super Bowl a little bit. You guys were facing, I believe, an undefeated team, weren't you?
Yes, Metro Militia. They were the class of the CPFL for a long time, undefeated going in that game. I think they've only ever lost 3 games at home now, so it's quite an
Yeah,
accomplishment for our team.
that's Rich Mallett's team, right?
Yep.
Did I say that name right?
Male high, yeah.
Male Hut. Okay. Well, yeah, they're I've seen them in action, and they're definitely a team to be reckoned with. So, congrats on getting past them and getting to that championship game. And it seems like now that you've had a taste of that championship game, recruiting now will be a little bit easier coming up for the next season because you get people's attention when you're winning a lot better than you do when you're losing. That's for sure.
Most definitely.
Gentlemen, again, you guys are playing the 3:30 game on Sunday. It's the Med City Freeze versus the Tri-State Tridents. TJ, you guys play out of Sioux City?
Yep, Sioux City, Iowa.
Sioux City, Iowa, and obviously the Med City Freeze play out of Rochester, Minnesota. So, again, guys, thanks to both of you, to your teams. We look forward to having you as part of the event again. And Jordan, let's see, make sure we're going to wear the Hawaiian shirts one day during the event. And so in order to make sure that you look like Steven, you might have to borrow Tim's shirt and then just put a little white paint on there. And then you
I
can
can do that for you.
get the Steven Piper lookalike contest or something.
Nella has a Hawaiian shirt?
Nella has a Hawaiian shirt, and he's wore it twice now. So you'll have to check it out. It's pretty sweet.
I got to see that.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, boss.
All right. And now the 3:30 game. And this is a big game. And I hope that when we do this, I'm always hoping that the teams will like the matchup that they got because we do spend a lot of time. Alex Scott from the Crusaders and myself and Mike Tiedemann and Stephen Piper and others all usually provide some input into how we do these matchups. And so this next game is going to feature two teams that I feel are going to give, like I said in the beginning, a slobber knocker of a game out of this deal. So first up, we will introduce from Sheboygan County in Wisconsin. And TJ, is that you?
Yep, that's me.
All right. Well, you put your name as Sheboygan County, and I was like, who names their kids Sheboygan County? But so this is TJ Schouten? Schouten. I should have known that. It's got to be some sort of Norwegian heritage-ish something, I suppose.
Yep, Dutch.
All right. Well, TJ, I got your found your logo and stole that from you, and your opponent. And now, TJ, you guys you're still active. Your playoffs are coming up this weekend, so this could, in theory, end up being a champion versus champion matchup. But you're having a hell of a season, so we put you up against none other than the Omaha Stockmen back-to-back champions out of the HFA. And welcome, Stockmen. And
thank you.
Trying to find you. I swear, I should have put these in some sort of order. That's I picked that one. I didn't really grab your logo. I thought that was kind of nice off of your Facebook page. So
hey, we'll take that one. Perfect.
All right. Well, let's start with you then. Tell us a little bit about the Stockmen.
Yeah. So we've been around. This was our 9th season. I've been involved with the team for 8 of those. My brother Jason and I, we've owned the team for the last 3 years. And we were part of the MFA for 6 years, the UCFL for a year. And then the last 2 years, we've been part of the HFA. And this was our 3rd straight championship. So 5th straight appearance. And we're looking forward to playing some new competition, excited to play a team that's fighting for a championship as well. So that'll be exciting.
Well, and it's always, again, it's always tough to find. You want to make sure that the game is worthwhile to both teams and that it's a worthy opponent. So I hope that the Sheboygan team is able to keep moving through the playoffs, and it would be awesome, if this ended up being a champion versus champion matchup here in the Upper Mid. We don't get those very often up here. The champion versus champion stuff always ends up down in Florida. So we're happy to have some of those matchups here this year. And TJ, tell us a little bit about your team.
Yeah, so this is our third year as a team. Our first year, we're in the league, the Midwest United Football League. It's a league that we actually helped create. The first year we were in the championship game. At halftime, we were actually down 18-0. We came back to win that game, 27-24. So we won our first league championship. Last year, we went through the season, once again, made it to the championship. We ended up falling short to the Midwest Renegades. This year, right now, we're in the playoffs. This is the game before the championship game. We are 9-1 on the season. We're 7-1 in the regular season, and we had 2 preseason wins also.
So you've played 12 games so far then this season?
No, 10.
10.
We're 7-1 regular season.
Okay.
And then 9-1 overall.
All right. And you and you're in the semifinals this weekend, correct?
Yep, correct.
And who's your opponent this weekend?
We're facing the Show.
The who?
Out of Milwaukee.
Oh, the Show. Yeah. The Show. Yep. Yeah, that one threw me for. I was like, what kind of? Everybody in Wisconsin names themselves something county, whatever. So when you have the Show, it's kind of like, well, that's a weird county name, but
yeah.
Well, and Andrew, correct? You didn't say your name, but I wanted to make sure everybody knows who that good-looking guy is. So, Andrew and TJ, we thank you both very much, and we look forward to having you guys be a great game. And your guys' game is going to be leading up to what will be essentially the marquee game of the event, because it's our event. But again, your guys' game is going to be a solid game as well. So we're looking forward to seeing that. We talk about how we want to just those of us that put so much work and time and effort into this, we're hoping that we can just get enough people to volunteer to work, and then we can just sit in the stands and watch 12 football games. That would be nice. I think I've watched maybe a collective total of about a half hour over the last 7 years. So I'd like to watch a full game once. It'd be kind of interesting. So, guys, thanks for joining us. Again, that's going to be the Sheboygan County SaberCats versus the 3-time defending HFA champion Omaha Stockmen. I said back-to-back earlier, so I got to add another back to that, right? Back-to-back.
Yep.
At 3:30 on Saturday, the SaberCats versus the Stockmen. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good luck, TJ.
Good luck.
All right. So let me move some things around. We will go. We are now on to Sunday games. So now we are on. No, we're not. We still have Saturday games. What am I thinking? We are going to go to Sunday at 6 o'clock. We had a big shuffle this afternoon, or not a shuffle, but we had a big time change. And so Marcos with the Manitowoc Warriors. Are you there, Marcos?
Yeah, right here. Mariners.
Oh, Mariners, yeah. Hey, welcome. And you are going to be a first-time team to this event.
Yes.
And you're out of the NLFL as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're still alive in the playoffs?
Yes, we're hosting the Blackjacks on Saturday.
Oh, I can see Aaron smiling. He's in the green room there. He's got a big old grin. He's already thinking about the game on Saturday, or he maybe is thinking about a snack here before he has to go live, one of the two. But Marcos, I would love to tell you who your opponent is, but sadly your opponent dropped out at 5:30. So
Wow.
I've got to do a little bit more work, and we had two backup teams that we reached out to, and it was just too short of a notice for them to give us a yes tonight. It's not that they may not give us a yes over the next couple of days here if we don't get it filled, but you for right now are going to be playing an unknown team. So I apologize for that, because I know that kind of takes the air out of the balloon a little bit. But tell us about the Mariners. We want to know about them. You get their time. You get to tell us a lot.
Okay, yeah. Well, I established the team myself in 2009 and have been the same owner ever since. So we're just finishing up our 14th season. We were in the Wisconsin State Football League till it folded in 17. We won the 3 state titles there. Then we hopped over to the MSFL for a season or two, and then joined the Northern Lights Football League because those teams were a lot closer for us. We went to the championship last year, and then this year we won our North Division championship at 7-3. So we've been pretty successful. We're pretty proud of just having the one ownership group. As you know, in semi-pro, a lot of teams don't make it that long.
No, they don't. That's something to be proud of for sure.
Yes, and if they do, they switch hands multiple times. So we're pretty proud of being around for so long, finishing up our 14th season in existence. And and I think I talked to you or messaged you before. We weren't gonna do this, but a lot of our guys wanted to do it. So I'm like, hey, why not? Teams from the area were doing it, so it's our first time. So we're pretty excited. I mean, whoever we play, we play. We just hope to be competitive and have fun, have a good time.
Well, and yeah, that was your first words out of the mouth when we talked on the phone. You're like, I wasn't gonna do this, but the guys want to do it, and being a former owner myself, I mean, that's kind of why we do this as owners, is not so much for us in any sort of selfish fashion. We do it for our players. And so, part of this Pigskin thing started from that standpoint. And that was, it was us and the, I think they called themselves the Minnesota Silverbacks. They were a team. They weren't around for very long, and they played out of the Twin Cities. I think out of St. Paul Harding High School, and we had won the championship in the SPFL. They called us up and said, we got a contact at the Metrodome. We can play at the Metrodome for $500 an hour, and I'm like, you're shitting me. We can go there and play for less than $2,000. Like, don't we have to pay for the lights? Nope, that's it. That's the whole thing. And we were just like, yeah. I mean, I don't care if I got to go hooking on the corner for the night. We're coming up with that 500. And it was our second championship that year in a row, and we had a lot of guys that were ready to hang it up. And as soon as I got the announcement or got told we had this opportunity, everybody came out of retirement to be able to play in the Metrodome. And then they stuck around, and we ended up winning 2 more championships and a couple of national championships out of it. So it's a fun event. I think you're going to love it, Marcos. I think your guys are going to really love it. I would imagine that maybe a few of your guys possibly played with other teams.
Yes, they have. We have a handful of guys that have done it with, I think, the Blackjacks and the Force, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. We had the Force in there that 1 year too. Yeah, I thought that was always weird. The Fox Valley Force and the Fox Valley Raiders or something like that. So
Fox River, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Fox River. That's what it is. So, well, Marcos, I thank you, and I don't worry. I will be in touch with you soon, and I will make sure that the opponent we find for you is going to be a quality opponent, and we'll make sure that they give you a good game.
Okay. When were we playing though?
Again, thank you. You are on Sunday night, 6:00. The Manitowoc Mariners Manitowoc County Mariners.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forget the word county in there. I got to get that in there, right?
That's fine. Everybody, hey, even our home time, we're on the radio all the time. They call us the Manitowoc Mariners. At this point, I really don't care. Everybody calls me Marco instead of Marcos, so I'm used to all the name hackings.
Well, you're a senior, so I might end up to start calling you senior.
Yeah, my son's the quarterback, junior. So.
Oh, Junior's the quarterback. Awesome. Well, we look forward to it, and good luck in the playoffs.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Give them a run for your money.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, so that was Marcos with the Manitowoc County Mariners. They're playing the Sunday game at 6 p.m. And we're going to finish out Sunday before we go back to Saturday. So our final game on Sunday is going to be with a veteran of the Pigskin Classic team and a newcomer team to the Pigskin Classic. So first, out of the HFA, we got the Newton Nighthawks with Mark on here for the Nighthawks. And their opponent is going to be out of the, boy, I hope I have this right. I don't want to disrespect the league, but I believe, Tom, you play out of the NLFL, correct?
Yes, we do.
The Southern Lakes Blue Devils out of what part of Wisconsin?
We're out of like the Lake Geneva, Burlington area.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start with you, Tom. I know a little bit about Mark, but let's start with the Blue Devils because I don't know much about the Blue Devils at all.
This is our 19th season. We have a 273-1 record. We've been in a couple national championships. Last one we won in 2017 down in Florida. We have guys that pretty much come from all the way from Madison to Chicago to play for us. So we're like right in the middle of the Milwaukee, Chicago area. So pretty much everybody within an hour range, usually they travel to play with us. We play our main games out of Westosha Central in Paddock Lake, Wisconsin. But we started out in Burlington, Wisconsin. And we moved out here where Tony Romo's from. And they just put a brand new turf field in out here in Burlington. So we're going to be utilizing that coming up. But we've been around. We have a pretty well-rounded group of guys. We're in the playoffs. We're in for the conference championship this weekend, like Marcos is, and he's in the other division. And we'll play the Illinois Cowboys, and winner of that'll be hosted. If we win that game, we'll host probably the Mariners or Blackjacks for the division championship to go to the championship game.
So Tom, you said something and you made me just about crap my pants when you said it. And I'm getting messages sent to me here through Facebook. You said your record was 273-1, and you didn't pause long enough in there. So all of us that heard it are thinking you're 273 wins, one loss.
We're actually 200. We're actually 208 as of this year. We hit our 200th win, and 74-1.
And one of the comments just sent to me is they must be doing math differently in Wisconsin. So
we
threw us off there for a little bit with that.
We always play the mid-states tournaments. We've always played preseason. I owned the IFL for 12 years and IAFL. So I ran a lot of teams in the Chicago, Milwaukee area. They were in up to Madison. They were in my league, we averaged about 14 to 20 games every season since we started.
Awesome. Well, again, good luck to you this weekend in the playoffs. Mark, tell us about the Nighthawks.
Yeah, so the Nighthawks originated in 1974, actually, created by a man named Jim Foster, the same man that created the Arena Football League, the Iowa Barnstormers, stuff like that. We were the first organization to ever go overseas and play professional football. Obviously, that's before my time, but that's just a little bit of our history. Anyone can feel free to look us up on Wikipedia. It's all there. We decided to bring the team back in 2019 and we played 2019 and 2020. Decided to take 21 off because of concerns surrounding COVID still. So we didn't want to, get too far deep and have it canceled. These past 2 years, we played in the HFA. It's been great competition. We're looking forward to the future seasons in this league. That's about it. I mean, we love competition, and I think what the Blue Devils present us will be a fun, fascinating challenge.
Yeah, I think it's it's going to be a good game, especially two completely different leagues, which is obviously always one of our points of doing this is not putting teams, like in Tom's case with the number of NLFL teams that we have in the event this year, trying to make sure that we don't end up putting them against each other is always just a little bit of a challenge. So it's awesome that we get two good teams such as yourselves. Again, at 8:30 on Sunday night, you'll round out our event, and I'm just as excited for that game as I am for the first game. So I hope both your teams. I wish you good luck in the playoffs, Tom, and hopefully you guys get. Who do you play again this weekend?
We'll play the Illinois Cowboys in Chicago at 4:00. And the winner of that will host to go to the championship.
And they, correct me if I'm wrong, the Cowboys are undefeated this season, aren't they?
Yep. They're in our conference. They beat us twice. That's our we're right now we're 8-3, and 2 of the losses we have were from them.
Well, as they say, it's always tough to win
3 times. Yeah. I coach I coached the international USA football team too. One of the founders and OC and head recruiter for that. And I missed the last game we played the Cowboys. I was out in Nashville coaching the game down there before I got back. So it's sort of tough for me because I haven't missed a game but one time in 19 years. That was for my sister's funeral. Otherwise, I have never missed a game. So it was tough not being there for my boys that game. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to the revenge game.
Revenge game. All right. Well, Tom, thank you. It was nice to finally meet you, and Mark, always good to see you again.
Good hearing from you, Jay. Pleasure meeting you, Tom.
Yep. And again, 8:30 Sunday night, Newton Nighthawks versus the Southern Lakes Blue Devils in a nice 11-man matchup to round out our event this year. Thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Good night, gentlemen.
All right. Let me send a message here. Okay. I gotta where did my pen go? Set it down. All right. So we just talked to the Mariners, we talked to the Nighthawks, we talked to the Blue Devils, and there's not very many people in the room. Let's see here. Well, we will go. We're going to jump to our 8:30 game on Saturday night. So our 8:30 game on Saturday night is going to put together a couple of strong teams that both play in very solid divisions or in leagues, I should say. And so 8:30 on Saturday night is going to be the Brown County Blackjacks with Aaron Machesky online here. Aaron, you're froze. There you are. And your opponent for this game will they're not on, but they would be the St. Paul Pioneers. So it'll be the St. Paul Pioneers against the Brown County Blackjacks, 8:30 on Saturday night. Aaron, tell us about the Blackjacks.
Probably 13 years now. we've always been in the Northern Lights Football League. We've been in the playoff league, probably 10.
Aaron,
We've won 4
Aaron, if you can hear me,
championships.
can you hear me?
It's probably my phone.
It's choppy. Shut your video off. Just give us your audio. That might help it out a little bit.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay, yeah. We've been in the Northern Lights Football League. To me, it seems like forever. I've been with this team since 2012. We've been around for about 13 years. We've have 4 championships. Obviously, we're grateful to be back with you guys. We were there in 2019. Again, it was an opportunity for the guys that wanted to do it. So I strung together some stuff and made it happen. And we're here again, and we're happy to take on some stronger competition.
Yeah, I mean the Pioneers, and I won't speak too much on their behalf. I believe their record ended up being 3-4 on the regular season, or something in that range, maybe 4-4. But they played out of the HFA, and I will say that HFA, just like the NLFL, there's some tough teams in there. So when you've got 4 or 5 teams, especially when I was looking at the records last night on the NLFL's website, when you got 4 or 5 teams that are all in that 7-1, 7-2, 8-1 area, that's pretty awesome when you have 3-4 teams that are up there like that, and then you throw in, I think there was 2 10-0 teams out of your league too. So
Right.
it definitely is going to be some great playoff football in your league this next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm biting at the bit for Saturday. We have a round 3 matchup with the Mariners is for the chance to go to either the Blue Devils or the Illinois Cowboys to get a chance to get into the playoff or the championship game after that. So
well,
I know we're ready to go, and
I think just like Tom Hawkins had mentioned, you guys, they've had your number twice this season, the Mariners.
they did. There were some really close games. Hats off to those guys. They put in the work. They have great coaching, great players. Obviously, it's tough to beat the same team, twice, or now it's going to be 3 times. It's going to be tough. But as always, we're going to come ready, and they're going to have to cart me off that field after that game. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, if it's looking like that, yeah. But if you got a comfortable lead, don't leave it all on the field. You'll have a game the next week. So. Well, good luck to you guys this weekend. Again, this is Aaron with the Brown County Blackjacks. They'll be facing off against the St. Paul Pioneers, 8:30 on Saturday night. So, again, thanks, Aaron, for being part of the event. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple months.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay.
All right. Thanks. All right. And our final game, and we got a guy in the green room. Looks like Gilligan from Gilligan's Island in there. I can see him in there. He's got his little Gilligan Island bucket hat on. But our final game of the 2023 SPFL Pigskin Classic is going to be a game that has been creating a great deal of buzz, thanks to efforts by a number of people. But we are going to be seeing a 4-time champion, Peoria Punishers. Let me get let me find you. There we are. We got the logo, and we'll bring in, they got 2. They were going to go 2. They were going to tag team against the opponent for this game. And the opponent for this game is going to be none other than the SPFL two-time defending champion, the Mountain Lake Lakers. And I don't have their logo, but what I do have is, well, I thought I uploaded it. Give me 1 second.
We didn't coordinate the red, by the way.
You didn't?
No.
Well, I mean, some people would probably think you're married, but.
It's pink, actually, so.
And how can I get that picture and as the full screen? Can I do it that way? No.
You see?
I don't want me the full screen. No, get off of there.
That's you up there.
Okay.
Let's see. I got to see if I can move this right where I want it at. Background, add a background. No, background isn't going to be right. Well, if you can see it up in the corner there, I wish I could make it bigger, but I don't remember how to do that. Is the championship? We're calling it the Pigskin National Championship. Justin or Melissa, whichever one of you would like, tell us about the Peoria Punishers.
You want to go, Melissa?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so the Peoria Punishers, their inaugural season was 2004. So we've been around a really long time, 19 years now, formerly owned by Rick Ramilius. He asked me to come on and help him run the team in 2000, I think 19 was my first year as co-owner. I've been owning the team ever since. I actually retired this past, after a championship. I retired, or at least I'm trying to, and Melissa's not letting me so far. The last game that we've lost, we've been in the bottom of the league. We've been in the middle of the league, and now the last 5 years we've been at the top of the league. We were runner-ups in 2019, and that was the last game actually that we lost, and we're on a 43-0 streak since then. 4-time league champions and a national champion in 2021, I think, over Queen City and Insane Asylum.
Awesome. And you're out of the MA8FL.
Correct. Yep.
Which I must admit, I don't know exactly what all the letters stand for.
Mid-American 8-Man Football League.
Mid-American 8-Man. I think I probably knew that at one point, but for some reason I forgot it. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of, in a loose way, kind of neighbor leagues with you guys being out of, Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri, right? Or just Iowa and Illinois?
There used to be the Hannibal Falcons. They're not in our league anymore, though.
Okay. So now it's just Iowa and Illinois?
Yes, I
Right
think
now.
so. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, I've been to, well, Justin, you and I met. You were on crutches. We met in Burlington, Iowa, at a game that was definitely not something that we would want to see at the Pigskin Classic. So we'll just leave it at that. And but we are excited to have you guys and the Mountain Lake Lakers going up against each other for the Pigskin National Championship. The Lakers apologize; they weren't able to make it on tonight, but they're excited, and I know you guys are excited.
Yeah, so we're interested, to get into the 9-man game a little bit. We're playing all 9-man rules, so I think it'll be a cool adjustment for us, and we'll see if we can make it happen with nine men on the field rather than 8, and a full field, of course.
Well, somebody's got to be happy on the team because now they get some playing time, right? I mean, there's one more guy on the field, so now he gets to have a little more playing time.
So
all of our players get playing time.
Yeah, they all play. You'll see come the 30th.
We don't have any bench warmers.
And again, you guys are the 6:00 game on Saturday night. That's our prime slot for this event every year. That's always kind of what we consider our primetime game. We're excited. We'll have the youth kids will be playing. I don't know if they'll be playing at halftime of your game or not. I can't remember if I pushed them out that far on Saturday, but nonetheless, when you guys get to the stadium, check it out, walk around, enjoy it a little bit. and then at 6 o'clock, it's game on. Hopefully it's 6 o'clock. I really hope to God we don't run like an hour and a half behind or something like that, because that would be brutal. But
It happens.
it does happen, and usually when it happens, it's usually sadly because of an injury. So we don't want to see anybody get injured. We just want this to be a fun event, a fun family event. There's not many things that you can do in Minneapolis for $15. It's usually more like $50. So, unless of course you go to the Como Zoo. You can go to the Como Zoo for free. So so if you want to go to the zoo, Gilligan, before the game, Como Zoo, it's in St. Paul. So
Sure.
now I'm going to be calling you Gilligan for a very, very long time. That's
okay. I've been called worse.
There was a guy on earlier. His name was Cash. I changed it to Spare Change. So.
I've been watching the whole show. So
have you? Awesome.
Yeah.
Have I done good? Has this been all right?
Yeah, you've done well.
All right.
I just have to say I'm pulling for our Plow City horsemen. Sorry, it just no. I didn't. No, they're gonna be really mad at me for saying that, and I did not mean to say that. It just comes out. That's what we call them internally. I'm really pumped for the Plow City Horsemen to get a game in, and I know they're going to be competitive.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I really did not mean it. I did not mean it, Chad. Let me live.
It happens. It happens. It slips up, and you don't mean for it to happen.
Look,
they finished.
Stephanie's in the comments. I really didn't mean it, Stephanie.
They finished in the semifinals, correct, of your league this year?
We
three, 4.
Everybody did. They were top half.
Top half. Okay.
They were fourth
in our league.
Yeah, and the Crusaders for our league lost this past Saturday, so they are the runner up. So I think one of the things that I have looked forward to, because I do have a house down in Burlington, Iowa. You guys used to have a team in Burlington,
yeah,
and so one of the things I'm really looking forward to is getting to finally see SPFL teams against the MAFL teams, and we see kind of where the talent. I don't want to say where the talent lies. I just want to see. It's always fun to see the opportunity to play against somebody else. When I owned the South Central Hogs and we played in the SPFL, we were fortunate enough to go to Oregon. They came here first. We went there the next year. We ended up playing the same team. They were on like a 4 or 5 year in a row streak as champions in their league. We were fortunate to beat them both times. And then after my wife and I sold the team, a couple years later, the team again qualified. We set the thing up again with Oregon, and we went out there, and the Hogs were victorious again against the same team. So it's kind of like it was awesome to get to play a different team, but it would have been nice if we could have maybe played a couple other teams in their league rather than the same team 3 different times. But we spanked them 3 times, so I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, and so one thing Melissa would like to do on my behalf for these upcoming seasons is we'd like to try to get a cross league game in for preseason, one preseason cross league game in, and then potentially one in our bye week if it works for whatever other team we would be willing to we'd play against. So that's what I'd like to help her implement going forward, and that's just for us. What the rest of our league does doesn't really concern me, but I'd like to see that, and I think it'd bring a lot of fresh faces. After out of all this 43 game win streak, the most memorable one to me was when we went down to Queen City with 20 people and put a belt to them. So that was a fun time.
Yeah, the Queen City Insane Asylum, and I hear there was big news from down there today. I don't know if you saw it or not, but Queen City's owner, Caleb Scott, is now hired on as the general manager of the Ozark Luggers, I think, or something like that. I don't.
Really?
Had you seen that yet?
Uh-uh.
I literally just saw it like at about 7:30 tonight. It popped up in my news feed on Facebook. So congrats to Caleb. Caleb's a great guy. He's done a lot for amateur and semi-pro football down there with Queen City. I mean, they were a powerhouse and still are a powerhouse, just like you guys. And so, you know, good luck to him as he takes the step into the professional world of football, and gets paid for it. It's always good when you get paid to do what you love to do, right?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Caleb and all of Queen City.
Yeah, awesome.
They have, like you said, done a lot of good things for the sport, and they've given the sport a lot of things except PEP's bottles. So the bottles that they still got to give us those. But I mean, we can work that
Girl,
out.
that's just my face.
See, now there's going to be like 8,000 comments that are going to come on that one after you had already had 4,000 comments on the pony comment.
Jay, I'm going to bring you views regardless, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, will you ask
isn't
Alex from the Crusaders if we can borrow their big inflatable thing to run through?
Oh, you want the inflatable Crusader guy?
Yeah, why not?
If it doesn't
Make
have
it work.
if it doesn't have a skull on it, I might slice it with a knife on the way by.
We can make one.
Actually, the funny story about that is the company. Hi there. How are you?
He said he wanted to say hi. So
awesome. Well,
oh, look, I have a little one who wants to say hi too.
He should have had a carrot in his mouth or something like that, Melissa. That would have been, or his Cheerios, just eating Cheerios, dry Cheerios out of a bowl.
Yeah.
He's got to go to
Adrian,
work.
I'm looking forward to getting to meet you. It sounds like you're quite the character as well. So I think you got a little cast of character.
That's an understatement.
Don't waste your time, Jay. This guy's been a thorn in my side for years.
Well, at least you didn't say a pain in the butt, because then I would have said, well, who's the quarterback and who's the center? But
no, I know what you're doing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we again, we look forward to having you guys part of the event. This was some negotiations over the last week and a half that could have gone either way about 10
It's
different
been a headache,
times.
but we got it hammered out.
We got it hammered out, and we are. I know the Lakers are looking forward to representing our league as best they can, and I'm sure that you guys will represent the MAFL as best you can. And I think the fun thing is I did purposely put a game in between the Horsemen's game and your guys' game, so that way you guys can come a little bit early, put your equipment and stuff over in our staging area, where it won't get bothered, and then you can go, sit down and watch the game, and you'll actually most likely probably end up using the same locker room that the Horsemen were in. So God only knows what they're going to do to your locker room before you get in it.
No, so like internally we all have our rivals and our beasts, but I really think that we're really pulling for each other in this. So
yeah.
It's the same way for the SPFL teams. I mean, we're excited to be able to put on the event. We used to play it just internally for ourselves against our own team. We've found it to be probably a little bit more rewarding to get to go up against other teams from other leagues, and we've been fortunate to have teams like your guys, like yourself, be willing to change up rules or add a guy to the field or whatever, and make it a good game. So we are excited. The Pigskin National Championship game will be on 6 o'clock Saturday, September 30th. It'll be the Mountain Lake Lakers, two-time defending SPFL champion, against the MA8FL Peoria Punisher, four-time defending champions. And Justin and Melissa, I want to thank you both very much for joining us here tonight.
Yeah,
Jay.
Yeah,
All
Jay,
right.
thanks for having us. This is a great event.
And thanks for putting up with all of us this last week or so.
That's right. I just can't wait to meet Shay. Shay and I are gonna have a conversation in the hallway.
So
I'm gonna introduce Shay to
You're
my
actually
personal
probably gonna love
bodyguard.
Shay.
You know,
He's a rules guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last thing I have to say is go Horsemen and PEP by 20.
Fitty.
Fitty.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah. I was gonna say I thought you guys were the Fitty.
Thanks, Jay.
All right. Thanks. All right, folks. So I am going to give one last rundown here of the games so that we have it and everybody can write it down. I will be posting it online here in the next day or two. But we have Saturday morning starting off at 8 a.m. It'll be the Fox River Raiders against the St. Joseph Swarm in an 11-man matchup. At 10:30 on Saturday, we'll have the Watertown Rebels out of the SPFL against the Madison Mad Dogs, who is an 11-man team, but they used to play 9, and they're going to drop down and play 9 in that game. At 1 o'clock that day, we have the SPFL 2023 runner-up Sioux Empire Crusaders, and they'll be facing off at a 9-man game against the MA8FL Plow City Horsemen. At 3:30 on Saturday, we have the Sheboygan County Sabercats, and they will be facing off against the back-to-back defending HFA champion Omaha Stockmen. So the Sabercats Stockmen will be at 3:30 on Saturday. The Pigskin National 9-man championship, or the Pigskin National Championship, will be at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Mountain Lake Lakers against the Peoria Punishers. And then rounding out Saturday night, it'll be at 8:30, the Brown County Blackjacks versus the St. Paul Pioneers. Then switching over to Sunday morning, kicking off will be the Central Iowa Chiefs out of the SPFL facing off against a new team out of the South from Topeka, Kansas, the Topeka Flight. At 10:30, we'll have Old Man Stevens' team, the Albert Lee Grizzlies, facing off against former SPFL team, current NLFL team, the Midwestern Wildcats, in a 9-man game tilt. At 1 o'clock on Sunday, it'll be a champion team, the St. Joe Bucks out of St. Joseph, Missouri, playing against a possible champion, because they're still alive in their league, the Eau Claire Cowboys. At 3:30 on Sunday, out of the SPFL, our very own Med City Freeze will be taking on the runner-up in the CPFL, the Tri-State Tridents, and that will be a 9-man tilt in that game. 6 o'clock on Sunday, we've got the Manitowoc County Mariners. It'll be an 11-man game, and their opponent is to be decided, as we had a late cancellation at 5:30 this evening. So we will announce their opponent coming up here soon in the next day or two. And then last, to round out our event, 8:30 Saturday night, the Newton Nighthawks against the Southern Lakes Blue Devils in an 11-man matchup. And again, should be a barn burner of a game. We look forward to having all of the teams be part of our event. 24 adult teams, all total, will be as part of this event. And then we also will have 30 youth teams that will be playing at halftime of the games. And we look forward to having them participate and be with us as well. Again, myspfl.com is our league website. And so you can find a lot of information on there. And why is that not showing? Show. Come on here. There, it is scrolling. Okay, so all your info for the 2023 Pigskin Classic can be found on myspfl.com and on our Facebook page, SPFL Pigskin Classic. Again, the 2023 SPFL Pigskin Classic is Saturday, September 30th, Sunday, October 1st, 2023 at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. home of the Minnesota Vikings, who are gone that weekend, so we get to use the place all to ourselves. We're looking forward to it. We thank you all for tuning in, and have a great night, and we'll see you at the end of September.